Welcome to this second session with A Quality Engineer's Faith. I'm Dan. We ended the first session with the note that all decisions are decisions under uncertainty. And we're okay with that. We know how to make decisions under uncertainty. Most other life forms appear to do that. Today, we're going to be talking about specific tools in quality engineering that use the same basic structure as decisions that are made in the business world, in business college, business schools, and university. In political decisions, this is just a really practical way of making decisions. Our quality engineering discipline has three acronyms that use this. If you've studied engineering in almost any subdiscipline, you've probably run across DFMEA, PFMEA, and FMECA. DFMEA stands for Design, Failure Modes, and Effects Analysis. PFMEA stands for Process, Failure Modes, and Effects Analysis. And FMECA stands for Failure Modes, Effects, and Criticality Analysis. Each of these three disciplines look at the very top level, a decision option, a design alternative for DFMEA, a process design for the PFMEA. We're looking at a choice. That choice has a whole bunch of different potential results. In quality engineering, we're especially concerned with the bad ones, so we talk about those results in terms of their degree of impact as severity, the severity of a bad thing that might happen. Can just as easily turn that around and talk about the potential results in positive. It's just a matter of changing the sign in the math. And many of our colleagues who write industry standards on risk management are very clear and insistent that positive risks and negative risks need to be managed the same way with just that mathematical difference in the sign. That result, positive or negative, goes with each potential outcome from the decision. So you got a decision you make at the top, you have potential results. Each result has a potential value, a conditional value, if you will. So that's a part of all of those DFMEA, PFMEA, FMECA. We do not make our decisions based solely on the potential results, though. We also need to consider the probability that choosing this design or process alternative will produce this result. Try to get my fingers up high enough where you see them in the camera. That probability is an abstract thing in a way. A lot of the people that I work with are uncomfortable talking about probabilities because you can't go out and touch them, at least in the practical world of the engineers. It doesn't feel like we can. And yet they're vital. We want to look at the probability as a scaling factor that reduces that conditional value of the outcome. It may be a really great outcome if it happens, but if there's only one chance in a zillion that it might happen, well, then that's kind of small, right? In effect, mentally, we multiply the probability of this result happening times how big the result is if it happens. A probability times a conditional value. And since the probability is always a fraction between 0 and 1, we're we're always reducing that conditional value down to a smaller expected value. We look at the expected value of all of the potential results, kind of add those up actually, in deciding with whether this overall alternative is going to be the one we're going to go with. So it's important, this concept of an expected value. I've said earlier that many other life forms seem to do the same thing, even down to a fly deciding which way to buzz to have the best chance of avoiding somebody's hand trying to swat it. It's a very fast thing for the brain cells to multiply. A conditional value by the fraction of evidence that indicates that result is going to happen if I choose that alternative. That's the core concept that we'll use in evaluating the answers to the question of the meaning of life. We want to look at the expected value from each of the alternatives that we can find. And as abstract as that sounds here on this second video, it's going to turn into being really easy to make some serious progress in our answering the question of meaning of life. Just that little bit. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. And like all the others, I'm going to present this. I'm presenting this with passion and love and joy and wishing you the best. And looking forward to talking again.